If you were born in Western Australia, the tulip would have to be probably the most exotic plant you'll ever come across. Now, this beautiful bulb that originates from Europe, not necessarily Holland, but actually Turkey, is just stunning in the springtime. It heralds the arrival of spring. And if you want to experience them for yourself in person, you want to join the masses down here at the Araluen Botanical Park. It's 45 minutes east of Perth in Rolling Stone, and this time of the year is truly spectacular. Every winter, the very capable but small team of gardeners here will in numbers swell as a huge team of volunteers join them to plant 120,000 new tulip bulbs into the beautiful, rich loam that makes this space so special. Now, the hard work is done in midwinter, and spring is the time to stand back and soak up the spectacular display that these incredible bulbs produce. One thing you may not have known is that tulips have to be one of the ultimate in water-wise plants in our environment. And the reason is they grow with the winter rains and they go dormant during the summer, so they don't need any supplementary watering during the summer months. The park was created back in 1929 and designed as a retreat for youth to come and learn life skills in the most stunning environment. The gardens and native parkland cover some 59 hectares, and its care was taken over by the Araluen Park Foundation in 1990. And this group of passionate people have removed many of the invasive species and continue to do so, trying to ensure that the gardens remain pristine and the broader environment free of weeds. The camellias here are considered by some the finest examples of camellias in the world, and this demonstrates just how amazing the environment here is. The gardens have lots of highlights throughout the growing season, including the rhododendrons and an amazing arboretum of stunning trees, including the many mature examples that are commonly sold in garden centres. And if you want to see how big a tree gets or how much room it needs in a home garden, a visit to the gardens here before you make your purchase could save you headaches later on. The gardens here at Araluen are quite literally full of millions of bulbs, but it's the tulips in springtime that you just have to check out. They're quite literally amazing, and there's all different types as well. You've got the classic wine glass forms, which are sensational when they're cut and popped into a vase. You can bring them into the house and they look amazing. The parrot forms with their feathery petals are quite unusual, and the fringed forms are extremely different, and they do exceptionally well when grown in pots. Now, Grant Nixon here is in charge of the team at the Botanical Garden. Mate, this place is just fantastic. Is this one of the best years you've had?
It's been a great year. Last year, everything sort of compacted itself, so by this time of the year, we're starting to see the end of it. But you can see everything's still looking so brilliant in the garden.
Yeah.
It's going to continue on, and that's definitely the weather has helped us this year.
Now, October is another great month. What's coming up? What can people expect to look out for?
Irises. We've planted another few hundred irises this year. And, of course, the roses. You know, that first flush of the roses in late October is worth coming for.
It really is. The other thing I was going to ask you, and there'd be a lot of people in this situation at home, they've grown tulips for the first time. What do they do now, and how do you get the best results out of tulips? These are just truly amazing. You guys must have some secrets.
I think if you're going to keep your tulips, and we don't, we replace them fresh every year, but if you wanted to keep them from the time that they start to look as though they're falling apart, cut the flower heads off, put in something that's going to fertilise them and grow them as long as you can. So put them in a cool spot and just keep them growing, because the longer you can grow them, the fatter the bulb is, the better the flower for next year.
Well, there you go. If you haven't visited Araluen before, or you haven't checked it out in the last few years, you've got to get up here. The place is magnificent. And if you're not here for the tulips, it doesn't matter. The parks, the gardens, the beautiful trees, the winding stream, it is just a remarkable place, a great place for a picnic, and one of Western Australia's really special spots. Check it out.